Hello everyone and welcome back to a Reddit Reads. Today, this one reads, am I the a-hole for calling someone stupid out of frustration? I was in the lift going up. It stopped because someone else was getting on. This woman, I swear she saw me standing quietly in the corner, but no. She turned her back towards me and even had the audacity to step back further until she bumped right into me. I said, "Oi!" loud enough for her to hear. Guess what? No sorry, not even a glance. She just stood there looking at herself in the mirror like she owned the place. I lost it and said, "Stupid." Then this clown turns around and yells, "You want me to call the police?" Like, girl, you're the only one that barged into someone's space and didn't apologize. I told her straight, you bumped into me and didn't even say sorry. And she still had the nerve to call me an idiot before leaving. I don't believe that she never saw me standing in the corner, as the lift was pretty bright and she wasn't looking at any device when she walked in. Okay, maybe say stupid after you leave, but like going straight to "you want me to call the police"? I kind of get the impression that this person is like entitled. And that like they would call the police on someone like when someone decides to cut someone's lawn for free and it was disrupting them or something. Like, what? Why would you want to call the police in this situation? Honestly, if somebody bumped into me as well, I'd probably say like "ow" or "oi" at the same time as well. Probably wouldn't say stupid until they left. But like, the fact that they didn't even acknowledge that they'd bumped into them or something and was looking in the mirror, clearly, if they were looking in the mirror, they saw the person that they bumped into. And then just turning around and yelling, "Do you want me to call the police?" I'd be like, go ahead, then you can admit to wasting their time. I don't know, I'm kind of like 50-50 or maybe this is like a made up story, but people like this do genuinely exist. People call the police for like the tiniest of things. And apparently they called them an idiot before leaving as well, so you know what? I think it's fair. You called them stupid, they called you an idiot. It's even. But like, it also depends on how big the elevator is, because sometimes they can be tiny. But like, if I was going into an elevator, I would be looking to make sure I wasn't going to be bumping into anyone. Mainly because I don't like touching people, let alone strangers. So I definitely would be like the type to huddle in the corner. But to then not even acknowledge the person who has said "oi" because you bumped into them, that's a bit weird. You were right to be annoyed, but you could have achieved the exact same thing if you would have said "excuse me" or "hey." The point was to get her attention that she had stepped into you, not to name call necessarily. Yeah, okay. She was just plain rude, but it does put someone in defensive mode when you come out with an aggressive comment. I wouldn't have said it was aggressive, just insulting. An aggressive comment, for me, would have been like including swearing or something like that. I don't know, I wouldn't have said it was aggressive. Definitely insulting. Maybe passive aggressive, because it was probably under their breath. You had the upper hand here because she was the one who made the error, and now you kind of let go of it when you gave her something besides her error to react to, as in your name calling. Yeah, 50-50. Yeah, okay, they could have like, I don't know. I don't really think saying "oi" is too bad. If it was like a loud "oi" like in your face, then maybe. But if it was kind of like a or like a "oi," you know, it might have been like that, "oi." But to be fair, if they were instantly like, "yeah, stupid," is probably more of a loud "oi." But you know, but I do agree they could have maybe been like, "Hey, you kind of just bumped into me. Like, excuse me, I'm here." You know, maybe that first. Not the a-hole, but the stupid could have been internalized. Yeah, okay, I agree with that one. It's a big assumption that she saw you. You failed to consider that she might have had vision issue and actually did not see you. Calling her stupid was rude. She overreacted also. If they have vision issues that severe that they cannot see a person, wouldn't they need some kind of aid? I could be wrong. I put my hands up and say I could be wrong. But if the vision is that impaired, wouldn't they need some kind of aid? Surely they couldn't just be walking around by themselves without, like, a guide dog or a stick, you know? Like, genuinely? I know you can have really bad vision and just have glasses, but the glasses obviously correct that. But if it's that bad that you cannot see a person in an elevator, shouldn't you have some kind of aid? Please correct me if I am wrong. I am not well educated in the different variations of vision problems, because obviously it is a spectrum, but in my opinion, could be a wrong opinion, if it was that bad that you cannot see a person in front of you, they'd need an aid, surely. But after the lady ran into her, she did say "Oi" loud enough to alert her. At some point, the woman should have simply said, "Oh, didn't see you there," and moved over. Correct? She didn't. I feel OP's reaction was valid for the rudeness in display. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, the fact that this person didn't even react. Hey, they could be deaf. But after the stupid comment, they then instantly turned around and said, I'm gonna call, well, should I call the police? So actually, they're not deaf because they heard the stupid comment. So why did they ignore the oi, but instantly turn around and have a reaction to the stupid part? So they're not deaf. They had a reaction. So they intentionally ignored the oi part. There you go. Yeah, a simple apology would have been nice and just move over. Okay, what is ESH? Apparently, it means everyone sucks here. So apparently they don't like anyone. Okay, fair enough. So everyone sucks here. So they think both of the people are a-holes. Okay. Not the a-hole. After running into you, she got an attitude at oi and threatened to call the police after you responded. She is stupid. You're the a-hole. Your reaction was totally uncalled for. But, no. No, I don't agree with that. I think maybe I do agree with the other person who said the stupid should have been, like, internalized, but the fact that the other person completely ignored them after saying oi, no. I don't think the reaction was, like, uncalled for. Especially if it was, like, under the breath. Like, if it wasn't, like, a completely aggressive, you're stupid. If it was an under the breath, like, stupid, then I don't think that's uncalled for. Like, you just got, like, potentially stepped on and, like, barged into. Maybe not barged, that's a bit excessive. But, like, bumped into. And then you made it known, like, oi. And then they did nothing. Like, I'm pretty sure you'd be calling them stupid too. Maybe inside your own head or after they'd left. I get that. But, come on now. My final thoughts and opinions. If the oi was gentle, then yes, that's okay. I probably, me personally, wouldn't have said oi or something. I probably would have been like, ow. Because things hurt me easily. I probably would have been like, ow. And then if there was no reaction, like, if they were still, like, touching me or something, I probably would make it, like, obvious that I'm, like, moving. I wouldn't, like, barge into them, but I'd, like, definitely move to the other side and then, like, let out a big sigh or something like that. And then definitely after they'd leave, I'd definitely complain about them and be like, stupid people. I probably wouldn't say stupid under my breath or something like that, I don't think. Or I could just stare at them in the mirror. You know, you move to the other side and just stare at them in the mirror. Make the entire ride uncomfortable. But you want me to call the police was such an overreaction. That screams entitlement to me. That screams like they call the police over the slightest little thing and waste their time. I don't know, that just gives me all bad vibes. Like, you're gonna call the police over the fact that you just bumped into me and didn't apologize? Hello? Imagine being a police officer and getting a call like that, turning up, and it's just this situation. Imagine that. Like, I don't know. So for me, overall, not the a-hole. Yeah, okay, you probably didn't have to say the stupid part out loud, but I wouldn't call you an a-hole for that. With how the general public is, most of the general public is stupid, so I wouldn't call you an a-hole for that. Maybe you could have handled it a bit better, but that's about it, really. I don't think you're the a-hole for that. So, what are your thoughts and opinion? As always, I hope you have enjoyed watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.